every performance issue at customers has different issues, because you have to look at the whole chain. You have first you've got the document, you've got the database, hardware. You even have got the front end, and at every of these positions you can have bottlenecks, right? So it's really hard to say where the performance gets worse, really. And sometimes it's really good to get team from support, from database experts and application experts together to analyze it thoroughly. Right? So that's what my experience is.
Yeah, but then do we have in SAP, like, for repeated data request, which actually quite is the relevant thing what you actually mentioned? Is there any limitation of the messages we can create with that? Like,
no, there's no real limitation. But again, the higher the number is of table lines or entries at all in an API sheet, the worse the performance will become. Right. So if you've got a real huge PI sheet, then you will have the performance is not so good as if you've got several smaller PI sheets. So, for example, if you've got the possibility to split your process in maybe several PI sheets at certain points, which might also be convenient for sort of parallelization as well, this will come better. And also if you have a long-running system, let's say a couple of years already, you might want to think about archiving, because if you don't have archiving, the database will fill up forever, and then of course also the database will have a performance issue then at a certain point in time.
Hi, this is Chandra. I'm from PMS.
Yes.
We do have also like performance issue, and I think there's one recommendation that the workstations should have enough memory, right? Because the PI sheets are basically HTML documents, and Microsoft also handles memory, right, based on your operating system. So if the memory of the workstations are increased, I think there is usually some improvement.
Yeah, that's exactly one of the chains in the elements in the whole chain. Yeah, so the front end as well. So we cannot really thoroughly discuss this here, because it's a multi-dimensional problem, and you never know where really the issue is. Right? So you really have to go via OSS channels to nail it down. And that's a lengthy process, because because it is not clear where the issue is. You might have a chain also in the OSS where it switches from one component to the other, because everybody is pinpointing to the next colleague. Okay, look at this. It's not my area. So be prepared that this is a longer process. Okay. I've got this new polling here. You already have entered something here. Maybe if you didn't look at it so far, here on the right bottom side, because I don't prepare now any big topics any longer. If not needed, if there's a big need for something, then maybe I'll prepare something again. But I've now 7 sessions with prepared demo, and now I'd like to do it more on the fly. But some of you have asked me questions beforehand and via mail, so I can maybe also take the opportunity to look at those. Maybe first, that's from Alexandra, what to look out for in case of migration. So, Alexandra, if I understood you right, if you've got a system with XStep already running, and you want to migrate it to another system. So what to take care? Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So well, first of all, I mean, the target system must be able to handle XSteps at all, right? So that's really one key issue. So that's R347 extension 2 at least. Second, which is also a real a necessity, is that you got the folder export import, because if you migrate one system to the other, I mean, if you really migrate the system or upgrade the system, then the XSteps will remain there. I mean, that's clear.
Okay.
If you migrate, or if you want to migrate the content of the XStep repository to another system, you can use the folder export and import functionality, of course, but you have to watch out for these things like characteristics and function modules. Yeah? Because if you use your own characteristics and function modules, you must make sure that these are also there in the target system. Yeah? And one thing you can do is, that's a nice trick maybe, if you do this export of your XSteps, you will receive or get an XML document. And then you can look at this document, and there are certain key elements which you can look out for. For example, function name, something like that. If you browse there and check for all things that start with Z, then you get a list of all your Z function modules.
Joining conference.
You've got in your source system, and then you can check and make sure that these will be copied or be present in the target system. Same for who is that? David Kolderup, okay. Good, sorry.
David? Den kenne ich noch. Oh.
Okay, so he sort of left us in the phone conference, obviously. And what I was saying is about characteristics as well. So these two things is important to look out for. Apart from that, I don't really think there's anything else to look out for. Of course, if you
joining conference.
If you downgrade.
Hi, Vin Kolderup.
Oh, hi.
Sorry about being late here.
Okay. You were. I muted you because. No, but still. You're still sort of calling us. Okay.
Well, I shouldn't actually. I'm not sure why. Well, now I'm muted.
Yeah, I muted you, so then you're here double. So never mind. Okay, Alexandra, did I answer your question?
That was okay. Thank you very much for that. So
Okay.
if anybody else knows something,
is anything to say on that topic? Any questions? Okay. Then I don't know. Is Abhijit on the line? Yeah, I see you. Oh, Abhijit, is that correct? Or Dande? Hello? Okay, you're not responding, so I'll skip that. Chandra, you've asked a question, and maybe I can have a look at the system for that. It's about match codes and characteristics. Yes.
Right.
So maybe I'll have a look at this in a more general view. But I must say I won't be able to cover it in a very big depth, because it's quite ABAP-centric and technical. So and I don't want to bore everybody. But let's have a look at the system and open up the system. So and by the the way, I've got the rate of the session here, rating of the session on the left bottom corner, if you want. So share my desktop. So you see an R3 system here right now?
Yes.
Yes. Great. So here on this screen you see the characteristic maintenance, and first of all I have to say that this characteristic, all the characteristics, they are used in a lot of ways in the whole ERP system. So they are not only there for the XSteps and the PI sheet. And so you cannot really expect that every setting you find here is reflected in the PI sheet. So that's first.
Okay.
The next thing is, and maybe before I go to this process management, first I cover this area here. So maybe I create a new one here. First of all, that's maybe also not known to everybody. If you create new characteristics, you really have to make sure that it's the PPPI_01 characters group, and just do a character characteristic here. Well, here in the value
joining conference.
There we've got several possibilities to steer what is happening later on in the PI sheet. This I already mentioned in earlier sessions. You can restrict the values in a certain way. Then there are other possibilities, and I'd like to point out these. And so here, this is the first one here with this table where you can fill these values in. And I will also show some examples in the PI sheet later. Here there's a check table that you can enter, which is working not so good. I'll show you. Then it's possible to add a function module. Also there, I have the feeling that there's a possibility to do something with a custom F4 help, but I didn't manage to find out how. But I will go into the customizing to show you some hints, and maybe you can try on your own if you are a little bit ABAP expert.
Okay.
Then you can do that. What is working quite nice is this here, catalog characteristics, and I'll show this. So format change, and then 1000, and I can go to these catalogs, and I believe they are more used in the QM module with these usage decisions and some possible values of a field, right? And so you can, for example, select this here, that one, yes, as a setting, and then you will see what happens. So I've got prepared something. Let's check. I have to go into my order here. Prepared an order here with some different characteristics here with the parameters, and yeah, it's this one here, test 1. I've chosen that one here, so let's have a look in the order. So if I'm going to valuation, for example, here, and F4. Okay, let's go to the DPI sheet. Control PC. value here, right? So here I've got a field, and got here the display for the F4 help, and I can press here, and then I get this catalog, which is it's another technique than this drop-down list. So I prefer to use the drop-down list, but maybe this is something which is comes handy, because it also gives an indication what is a good value, what is not a good value here, so color coding. But what you the thing is, what you do then there, I think, you definitely have to evaluate this then later on in the system, right? So you have to take care of this result then on your own. Right? So what is the result here is this the catalog name, or the set name here, and then the value which is 2. So what you would have to do, I believe, is you would have to pass this to a function module which splits this maybe, and then passes the result to whatever you need. Right? Yes, that's this here. I've got also the an example, of course, of the drop-down list, and that's clear. This one here, and also got this one where I've also flagged that one, and to show you what the difference is. So this is virtually the same characteristic, but that one here as this here flagged additionally. And if you press F4 here, you have also the possibility to select these predefined values, but you can also enter a different value here.
And then we have the front page. You create all your categories for job types, job descriptions.
There is some sound here.
We show everything, whether this is job there or not. And
that guy here.
Yeah, I'm watching this thing.
oh, you watching the video?
Yeah. Well, then we're talking. It's live.
Oh, it's a class. Okay, I'll let you get this.
That's right.
I saw it.
I'll look at that thing later.
Okay. Good. So everybody gets muted when it's too loud in his office. After that one infamous session where you could virtually hear nothing. Yeah. Okay. So these are the easy things from my point of view. The not so easy thing is if you want to create an own F4 help, and there is something. If you go into this characteristics, I'm not sure which it was. No. Let's have a look at a standard characteristic like PPPI batch. Because here, don't have an example, but let's have a look first here. If you click here on process management, you see that there is a match code here and a key field here, right? And this is sort of built in, and that's a big deal of hard-coded stuff in here. I've heard from my colleague from development.
Okay.
But if you look at the customizing, and I'll switch to the IMG here, in process management, process messages, define characteristics for process messages. Strangely, the documentation is only here so good. So in process instructions, it's not the same, I think. So check here. You've got some hints about what you can do here in respect of process management, and here's a note down here. So you see here the input help section, and then there's a note. If you want more than just the foreign key to be taken into account when checking values, you can write your own function module that is similar to the function module COC1 blah blah, and assign it to the values tab. And that values tab actually is the one. If you I'm switching back to one of my test ones here. So check function module. So here you can have a function module, and if I'm comparing this with the case here of the standard characteristics, PPI batch, you can see that there's this function module entered, right? Now let's go back to this section here. So these are sort of predefined function modules, and you can enter a similar function. So you really have to analyze this function module, and also that the corresponding with the F4 help somehow. So these sort of go together, these two here, and if you have understood how they work, then you can copy them and try to find your own way here. But unfortunately, I don't know how to do it, and my colleague there also didn't know how to do it. Maybe we find out, and then we'll write something to SDN. But sorry about that.
Okay.
We don't have any really solution here.
Also, it would be helpful if you could point out if we need to do something extra in the PI sheet, because if we define our own functions here, will the F4 in the PI sheet automatically work, or we need to do something with the
I cannot really say. I mean, this note here in the documentation gives the hint that it should be possible.
Okay.
I don't know how this match code comes into the game here, right? Maybe you have to have any match code here which is available, and then sort of ignore that and do your own stuff there. But sorry, I really can't say. So there's no best practice for it.
Okay. No problem. Thanks for the tips.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, I'll switch back to the lobby and see what you have flagged here for discussion here. Okay, process messages seems to be the highlight here. Well, anybody who has flagged this, any insight? What exactly? You want to see here? I think we didn't cover this so far in any of our sections. Anything you're interested in particular?
Okay. Pani, this is Raj, and I would like to ask the process message creation is one issue which happens actually in the background on save of a PI sheet, right?
No, that's incorrect. It's not on save, but whenever you complete an instruction or a table line where a process message is included.
Yeah, that's actually, we can actually change it via the internal events of PI sheet.
Yeah.
And that, in fact, if you mention non-document saving.
Yeah, but the trigger is the completion of an element. With whatever functionality you complete that,
So in that, what my question was, can the creation of message be a background job?
Actually, well, not from the PI sheet. I mean, the PI sheet is a front end functionality, and there you work on the PI sheet, and then you do something. You enter some data, and you maybe press enter. You automatically close that element, or you manually close that element, and then the process message is created. So that's what it's meant for, right? So you capture all the data in a PI sheet, and then at a certain point in time, maybe at the very end or maybe in between somehow, you can report that data or complete that data, and then the process messages are created. Maybe can you tell me why you need that?
I actually referred in the earlier question I had regarding the performance. Normally, this is an area where actually we can delink the performance and we can at least get rid of having the messages at the background, and then that's why actually my specific question was to have it in the background, and then we just maybe click on save or complete the PI sheet and the message is created, but you don't actually do it upfront. Maybe a background job takes care of that.
Well, again, no, a background job is not doing that. I mean, a background job is there for sending the messages, actually.
No, that I know, the sending of messages and the CPs and all. Those thing is okay.
Again, I mean, you can design your PI sheet in a way that you just enter the data all the time, and then at the very end you say, okay, now I want to complete the PI sheet, and then at that point in time all the process messages are created. Yeah, that's possible, but it's not possible if you have any signatures in between, which have to be executed in between, because a signature also makes the forced completion of all which is above until the next signature. Right? So that's one of the I would say of key principles of the PI sheet. So you cannot really bypass this. And if something gets completed, all the process messages are created.
But just to have one more question regarding that, we actually use the save. That's actually a PI sheet function there, or save or complete there at the top of the PI sheet. It is always mentioned. What exactly is actually the technical setup when we actually save? Which all the internal data tables and all those?
Yes.
It is referring to, because it is when actually I just had to just dig down it into detail, and in the trace I found lot of tables there. It's a BDS and POC.
Okay. Some details on the technique here. Many of the content and structure is written down in an XML structure. Okay, there's all the structure of the PI sheet and also the data itself. But if you
ich bin auf.
Hallo, bitte muten, wenn
Sorry.
Ja. Sorry. So if I just enter make some changes like this here, nothing, or even if I'm pressing enter, it's not really on the database. Not also not in the XML. So, for example, if I would, which I don't ever recommend, but if I would press /n here, this entry will be gone.
Ani, we are not able to see. Are you doing something there on the screen? Because
of course I have to reshare my desktop. I'm sorry.
So you have to show it again. What exactly?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. You see it now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm in the field here. So if I'm entering something here, I'm entering without enter. Right? So that means the data is there in this HTML construct you see here, but it's not even checked and not even really registered. It's just a keystroke, if you want. For example, if any check functions are there, they won't be triggered. Right? So then I press enter. Then these certain functions can be triggered if, for example, parameter changed event is triggered and all these things. But it's still not on the database. So this is still only on here in this environment, in this HTML environment. It is captured in this in this HTML in this input field here, but it's not on the database. So, and only if I save, then this value is transferred to the database. And there are two parts. It's the XML structure, and also there are also a lot of ABAP database tables that
Joining conference.
Kept for certain technical reasons. Right? So that's what happens when you save. Right? But no process messages are created here. I still don't see how I can help you.
No, that's true, but you actually answered it partially. But what I was actually referring was on save or on completion, the tables actually which it is referring in the background, there are actually huge tables like.
Yes, they are huge tables, I know. That's also why I said when I talked about performance that it's a good idea at some point in time to think about archiving.
That we have already started.
Talking about archiving, if you are use PPPI and you are doing the EBR, then the archiving is already included here. So the database tables and the PI sheets are archived, and you can delete this. If you're not using EBR, or if you're using these production orders, then you have to wait till sometime. We are preparing for a pilot node for the archiving of PI sheets without EBR, because many of our customers don't want to use EBR, and then they also want to have, of course, the possibility to archive these things. That's for your information, but yeah. Okay.
Okay, just another question to the messaging. Usually we do have lots of messages with an own defined destination where we have a self-developed destination address, which is a function module, the type of function module, which is doing updates in some user-specific databases. Sometimes it's doing a goods issue and adding some values in C tables and so on. I'm interested, there is, for example, the process message category and read, which has in background the destination PI01, which is doing only a function module that's called COCM process record, which has as the only parameter, it has the process order number. And we do have lots of table lines where we do have just characteristics which gives us a true or false, like is the oxygen value correct? We have a true. I have this in my characteristics of my message, and as a destination I'm just using the PI01 with the destination address process record, but it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it does, but
it does. Well, I do. Let's say it like this. I don't know what it does.
Yes. Let's also for the others. Okay, that's another good thing. Yeah, that's a good example here. Here I've got the process message category PI.com for the comments, and that's the one you're referring to, PI01.
That's correct.
That's the process message record.
Yeah.
That is used for gathering all the process messages that of course have this destination inside, to be able to make some analytics here on this process messages. And there is a functionality. Let's see whether I find this on the fly. But it's a very crude functionality, so I don't really recommend it, and it's very old. Let's see where this is. Evaluation.
I'm talking
here,
about
that one here. Yeah, there's CO52. This transaction actually makes use of the data that is processed by this process message destination. You can, if you want, you can try it out, but I just say it's a very crude transaction, very old, and it's not maintained anymore, really, I think.
Okay, currently in many check modules, I'm testing the tables COMH, which is a communication header and COM-E if this message is sent, because sometimes I do have a tolerance on more than one line. For example, I'm consuming with the first line 5 kgs, with the next time 2 kgs, and so on. And if I'm very fast in entering these values, the background table is not yet updated, my user table is not yet updated, but I want to have a tolerance. For example, he was consuming 5 plus 2 kgs, which is close to the target value, and if the system in background is too slowly updating the tables, my check module would not find the first 5 kgs, which is not already posted. So I'm just checking COM-H and COM-E and getting the message.
If you have such fast confirmation processes on I believe it's a table, then is it really necessary to have one process message per line? Why don't you then aggregate that and create one process message?
The problem is that I never know how fast the messages are going. Sometimes the user is entering only one line, and then he goes away, and he comes back in 2 minutes later or 3 minutes later, and then he's entering the next line. But sometimes
But Peter, I think I know what you're doing there, but you really have to understand that the process messages, this is an asynchronous communication method.
I know.
So if you are expecting in your front end PI sheet that this is a synchronous booking more, right? Then this is the wrong technique here.
Yes, but you're right, but I'm not expecting it. The way around is to check the message tables COM-H and COM-E.
So you have a function module there in the table which checks it.
Right.
Okay.
So I do not go to my C tables because I know it's an asynchronous function, and I'm going directly to COM-H and COM-E. The problem I had as well is sometimes, especially during testing mode, if the user table has got a problem and the value is not updated, then I see the message is waiting in background, and I would not get the value through reading the C table because it's not yet updated. But I see the message through COM-H and COM-E. But that was not my target on the question. My target on the question was the COCM process record that you answered very well.
So I would say, I mean, if you are, one other thing is there. If you're using the EBR, then you've got one report that is archived, which is the process messages, I think, and I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but let's say 95% that it is necessary that for every process message that you want to have in that list needs to go to that destination as well, right? If you don't use either this analytics transaction or this, if you don't want to look at this report for the process messages at all, you might as well drop this. You can remove this destination if you want, if you don't want it.
Okay.
Or of course you can add any other destination, like we did it here. We added our new functionality of the shift node. We've got from EHP4, we've got the shift node newly added in the system, and here we made sure with a set function module that every comment I enter here in the PI sheet is also created as a shift node for that resource where we are right now. Right? So that's also a nice use case for process messages.
Yeah, the reason for my question, or the real reason was, I wanted to be sure that having this destination in my message is not slowing down my system too much. You know, perhaps.
Every action which is done is of course slowing down the system.
Yeah, but it's going in the background.
Yeah.
So it's not slowing down my PI sheet, of course.
No, I wouldn't say that. Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah. I mean, it's just the process message collects some data, and then the asynchronous process compiles that data and sends it to the different destinations. That's it.
Yeah.
Any more questions on the process messages?
Arnie?
Yes?
This is Doug. I'm not so sure, but it looks like I'm doing a asynchronous signature. We're doing some testing with asynchronous signatures. And if I have a process message that fails, my asynchronous signatures are acting a little goofy, like it's locking my TI sheet from further actions or something like that. So I may be logging a note with you guys, but we're doing some testing, and the only thing I can put my finger on right now, it looks like if I have a message failure, my second asynchronous signature is not being allowed to be applied.
Okay.
So
did you try something like removing the cause for this failure and resending the message, and then it's good again in the PI sheet, and you can complete your signature?
Oh, no, I was okay.
You should check this. Maybe with a fake message where you
I'm going to make one fail and then
let it fail, and then remove that lock, and then it passes again. Whether that's really the reason, and if that is really the case, you should erase the message maybe, because that sounds really odd.
All right. And just another one that would seem odd. Whenever we're creating messages for releasing PI sheets, and we're creating message control recipes.
Yes.
If I go to CO60 and I go to control message monitor at the top, you know, when messages are coming back to the PI sheet and my control recipes are being sent.
CO60 is here. Yeah.
Yeah, when I go to CO60 and I go to settings or environment. Which one is it?
Message
Setting. Message monitor.
Yes.
When you hit that guy, I bump dumps every time. If I'm in the middle of we're on the service pack 4, so I got to log another one. We just found this the other day.
Okay.
So
a dump should never occur. So please raise a message.
Yeah. So it's whenever I create the PI sheet and I'm out there waiting for it to be sent, and I go to environment message, this like CO53, every time it dumps.
But if you're then instead doing it in a separate mode with CO53, it should work.
It works fine.
Okay.
Oh, it works fine in CO53. If you
right.
do it from CO60, it dumps on you right there.
That's
so
odd.
yeah, I'll log one with those two.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe while we are at this process messages, and that's also a topic we have covered so far, maybe I can also highlight the principal procedure here when you want to set up a new own process message. But first, I'll mute somebody who's, I think, RBG.
Yeah.
Okay, muted. Good. So when you create an own process message category, first you have to think about where should your process message go, and so therefore you need to set up these process message destinations before, because the existing one, they are already sort of normally used well. And so here are the different possibilities that you can use for your process messages. And so one is, so these are the transactions to do the normal stuff. So create a function module, an RC destination, an ABAP table, alert categories. And here you define and set up these categories, these destinations, sorry. And so what you can do here is if you create a new entry here, so I say set AM1 test, you can define a type here. And so there are different types, and the normal normally used type, or also with the standard process messages, is this function module. And the function module these are very special function modules because they have some special coding which first of all reads the process message. So they have some standard interface included, and they read the process message and read all the characteristics and the values. Right? So if you're planning to create an own message destination and you haven't done so yet, you better check the existing ones and work out how they work, and then you can copy them. External function is nothing. RFC function, for example, I think. I've never used this sub-office user, but what I did is these two as well. So this is quite simple. You can really simply take an ABAP table, so a set custom table, where you just send some parameters to that table, and you can then here in the target field message destination you can map the different fields to the message.
Anna, this is Ivan here. Just a comment. So if you look at the previous screen on the IMG screen, there you get the comments on each type. So there's also a standard function module which is specified there as a copy template. So here you see that you have to have works and the process message ID, and on the function module is specified the copy template. So
you're totally right. Yeah, I didn't want to get into those much detail. I just wanted to highlight the basic overview. And of course, if you want to dig deep into that, you need to check this documentation in the IMG first. That's true. Yeah. One thing I'd like to point out, if you're looking for a function module or a process message that creates a booking, a material booking that is not foreseen yet in the system. There is one works for all function module, and I hope I can find it right away. But I always cheat a little bit. I'll check here and see how they are looking like. So they all start with COCI, and there's one function module.
Confirm goods movement.
It's exactly. It's that one here. Confirm material movement here. That one, and that's a very generic function module, and I hope. Yeah, I think there's the documentation here where you can really use this function module to create virtually every material movement you want. Right? So with special movement type or with a certain storage location or something like that. So this is a hint to look out. So you don't have you really don't have to necessarily create an own function module really if it's just about material booking. You can use that one. It takes maybe a little time to find out how it's done, and maybe I can send around some small guidance here in the next session about that if you're interested, or just mail me and I'll send some information for you because that's quite convenient.
And just a comment as well, there's the one that's called cancel material movement as well, where you can do all the canceling also. Yes. This up there.
That one here. Okay. So you see there's already some things there. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Any more questions on process messages? I know I only scratched the surface here, right? So that there might be more to discuss, but it all depends a little bit on your input and questions.
Arnie, is there an example for an external function? Like, the type 2.
Let's see whether I've got something here in the system where I can see. No, that's that one here. Maybe different font. There's one here. Destination address. So that's an RFC destination here. Actually, well, let's check what's in that documentation here. I've never used that, so I don't know really what you can do there.
I think the help seems to indicate that it should work similar to a control recipe, like once you create the process message, we should be able to use the control recipe download function to read the process message.
Maybe, and that's a wild guess. That's also used, or maybe that has been introduced for the decentral process coordination. That is a concept that has been developed basically for one customer of ours who wanted to run PI sheets decentralized. There we had the concept that this customer has a decentral R3 installation, so it's still R3, but decentral and only with PPPI implemented there. And then you can send control recipes, so the normal PI sheet control recipes to that external system. And then, of course, from that external system, you need to send the process messages back again, and maybe that's used there as well. So it's a wild guess, but yeah.
I believe it was there earlier as well. So it's like you send a message to an external system. As we had one case where we had an external packing system, and it received a control recipe, but then it turned out also that, for instance, you should receive 2 kilos of a certain ingredient, and and in the system you received 2 kilos apparently, but physically it wasn't 2 kilos. So what you would do is, in the external system, we developed a function which was called a batch request, and then what it did is it sent a message back to SAP requesting for more. And this was also in the pharmaceutical environment, so we did a...
But the message you're referring to now is to ERP, and what we are defining here is an RFC destination from ERP.
Yes, I'm getting to it.
Okay.
It is a long process.
Okay. Sorry, continue.
So then it's doing a batch determination and then doing the staging again and creating a new message to deliver, which is then delivered back again as a result. Now you're going to get this batch and this quantity. And then we were using that type of message destination to get that message back again. Yeah. That was like an interactive...
Maybe that's maybe also an idea. A message normally here is created from the PI sheet, right? So
right.
If you have, for example, an external material management system, maybe, and you use a PI sheet, and you want, and you've got a material consumption, and then you can send this consumption message to that external system. Maybe that's also a feasible process.
Sure.
Okay. Any more questions on or comments? Also, our time is nearly up right now. Let's. Did you do the rating of the session here? Because I'm switching to the lobby now. If you haven't done so, please do so right now. Okay, I'm going to the lobby again. Let's check. Oops, this looks okay. Right. So there are some topics were left. So style sheets is still interesting, I believe here. life parameters that we didn't cover so far. Maybe you keep it to the next session, and then we'll discuss it there. Is that okay? And if you've got some specific question, please send me a mail beforehand, and then I can think about something. Any comments? Okay. So let's unmute the others that I muted. So maybe that poor guy is trying to say something. No. Okay. So if no other questions are, thank you for your time. And I think today it was a really nice, lively discussion. That's what I've hoped for this XStepCafe, and hopefully we can continue like this in the future. What is your impression now for this session? Is it okay to have it with no predefined demo that I have prepared? Is that okay for you?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yes.
Yes.
It's good.
Yep.
Good.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. Okay. So then let's meet in 1 month. It's I believe 4th of March, and I will send the link around again. And yeah, have a nice time till then.
You too.
Goodbye to you.
Thank you, Arne.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Here.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.